You are a psychologist, you see a lot of cases, you know what are the problems. So, do you think there is prominent awareness amongst the parents as and when to visit a psychologist?
Well, I think in the last decade, definitely parents have become very conscious about looking at the welfare of their children, especially mental health. And I think that parents are extremely open to bringing their children to therapy. We see a lot of cases where parents, would come and they would be like, we wanted to know whether this is a problem and whether we should require help, whether we should take help for this or not. However, when it comes to adults seeking, help, that is still stigmatized.
As you might have seen that there are many myths related to psychology, like a person who visits a psychologist being termed as mentally ill, or the society looking at him as he's having some mental disorder. So what are your views on these taboos of our society?
Unfortunately, seeking psychotherapeutic help is still stigmatized. As Indians, we would much rather have the problem, festering inside four walls rather than actually seeking therapeutic relief. What this does is that these problems, they don't get contained when they're in one room or one house. They actually go down the generation and they are passed on. As I was saying before, that they then get translated into issues for children. And this is how they become transgenerational issues, because they are never actually catered to, they are never dealt with. But having said that, now with the increase of online therapy, we are being able to actually deal with a lot of stigma through that, because a lot of people are actually reaching out, for therapeutic help.
Okay, so can you explain what is online therapy?
So, I work with a few apps as well as a few clients that are overseas in the US and Singapore and Australia. And what we do is that we fix an appointment and they come online at the same time as well as I go online. And then we have an online video session. And that is how they're able to, do sessions. So this is not just for people that stay, out of Delhi or stay out of India, but also for people that stay in Delhi, but feel stigmatized to actually come out and seek help.
So as your tagline says, strengthening personal relationships, so what according to you is the mantra for strengthening a relationship? May it be with a partner or a child or between siblings, what is that element that should be included in a relationship?
As you've seen that my tagline says strengthening personal relationships. So my work actually focuses a lot on strengthening relationships. So the idea behind that is, instead of going to a therapist when you feel that your relationship is damaged and probably needs to be fixed, whether it is with a child or with your spouse or with your family member or a sibling, the idea is to take a relationship for therapy that is probably feeling a little low, or you're not being able to get along, there are arguments, there may be conflicts, and you don't feel like your relationship is good enough. So the idea is to strengthen that relationship rather than waiting to hit rock bottom and then actually seeking help, because as research shows as well, it's much more helpful to go and seek therapy right in the beginning when you start feeling problems in your relationship.
So what is the best advice you can offer to our viewers to lead a healthy lifestyle?
Well, I think that just as we're constantly looking at, making our lifestyle healthy by eating healthy, by exercising, I think it's just as important to look at our mental health and work on improving that to achieve an overall, healthy lifestyle.
What are the general tips or anything you would like to suggest to our viewers who are watching you?
The message that I would like to give is that I think that there is an increased need for psychotherapy now. I mean, we all need therapy to some extent, and I think it's extremely important to be able to recognize when you actually need therapeutic help, so that you're able to take the step at the right point. Sometimes seeking help from family members or friends is restrictive in terms of the kind of input that they would be able to provide. Coming to therapy gives you a safe place, a safe environment where you're treated like equals and you're able to work through your issues in a safe environment.
Thank you, Dr. Lubhana, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was Dr. Lubhana Malik joining us in our conversation, who is a famous psychologist in Delhi. She practices in Gurgaon and Saket. If you want to reach out to her, you can easily do it through www.justdakila.com. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Thank you so much.